Good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live with me, Mike Avery. Glad to have you along with us on what promises to be kind of the calm before the storm. Randy, good evening. How are you? Cliff, always a pleasure. Hello, Johnny. Ricky. Turn that music down. There we go. Are you plowing, Johnny? You will be soon. Uncle Johnny, how you doing, buddy? It was just last week you were here with us. You're here with us tonight in spirit. Lost Glove Farms. Hello, Tim. Hello, Craig. Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. Hello, Rex. Nice to have you along with us. Scott. Dennis. It is kind of a weird evening, isn't it? Here in my neck of the woods in Michigan, we're supposed to get really nasty now. Now, whether or not it will, that's the big question, right? Think about weather people, and I have some good friends who are weather people, but this is their time to shine. So when you got bad weather coming in, they really like to promote it and make the most of it. Not tonight. A little, then we'll go from there. Linda, good evening. How are you? Nice to have you along with us on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Jim, always a pleasure. We're going to give away a Michigan brand ham a little bit later tonight. Going to talk about a few things. Hello, Jerry. David. Oh, there's David right there. Brian. Appreciate you being along with us as we do our weekly celebration of the outdoor lifestyle, primarily in the great state of Michigan. But 2 minutes late, John. What would happen if you were 2 minutes late to class? Nothing. Okay. Sam, good evening. Lori, good evening. Cliff, Tony. Hey, buddy, how you doing? What have you been up to? Been shooting any crows? Probably haven't been fishing, have you? Larry, checking in from Tennessee. How are things in Tennessee? Johnny said 17 years at the road commission, maybe 2 times we got bad storms they predicted. Well, maybe this won't be one of them, right? Kind of hoping it's not. Did I see the wolves Pete has gotten the last few days? I have not, Nick. I will keep an eye out for that. By the way, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats is with us. We're not starting the contest yet, but we will give away a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. 30 to 45 minutes late. Brian, good evening. How are you? Paul checking in from Coloma. Who's ready for the snow? Get your snow machine ready. Good evening, Brian. How are you? This Brian, I think I've pretty much given up. Last time I was out, nothing. There's absolutely no activity during the day at the property we're hunting. That's why I think we should be allowed to bait. I really do. You want us to kill more deer? Let us bait. Food plots are great, right? But the deer, by the end of the season, know they can come in the middle of the night in those food plots. And they don't need to come out in the daytime. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Mike, good evening. All holiday pay. Excellent. Dave, good evening. How are you? My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. It's something we do every Wednesday night. I think the next Wednesday Night Live we'll do in person is going to be in March at the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Deer need a rest. They do. How about give away Mike Avery Hunter Sticks in the morning show? I'm too busy during that morning show to give away anything. Jody, good evening. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, by the way. Is that exactly to the baiting thing, Larry? If you want us to kill deer, let us bait. Thinking about Monday, pending some might be a few bunnies after the morning hunt. Good luck to you, Brian. What is my take on the gill nets in the Great Lakes? Well, that's an interesting question. I think nobody is denying that the tribes have a right to fish, but my take on this is I'm very disappointed in what I perceive to be the Michigan DNR not standing up for Michigan sport fishermen and selling us out in the consent decree negotiations. That's my take on it. Now, that's an oversimplification, I'm sure. I'm sure that's not the way it really is, but from my perspective, my perception is, I mean, what would this go on for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years? And this is all we got. Why would the Michigan DNR be giving up anything to the tribes and gill netting if the Michigan DNR should be in our corner, sport fisherman corner? Yeah, if they want us to kill more deer, allow baiting. Evening, Dave. There you go. Dave, how you doing? Excellent. John says, wild turkey back the other night. Still have some left because I love turkey hunting. I love turkey hunting. Robert, good evening. How are you? Thanks, Gene. I appreciate that. And listen, I know a lot of deer get killed that are not over bait. Good evening, Julie. Truly good hunters can kill deer without bait. I'm not one of them. I have killed deer. I've killed several deer without bait. However, I'm looking at the situation we're in right now. We've got some lease property, and we did what the DNR wanted us to do. We put food plots in there, right? Because food plots don't attract deer, or they don't allow nose to nose. Baiting bad, enticing okay. Marty, how are things in Florida? Anyway, I don't want to go off on this tangent again. I just think I don't see how a little bait is going to cause any more nose-to-nose contact than an apple tree is, than an oak tree, than a food plot, than a cornfield. I don't get it. Oh, that's an interesting concept, Cliff. Yeah. Although there was a time here not too many years ago when you had to have a sales receipt that you bought your minnows here and that they weren't from out of state. He did, or he should, Shane. I didn't know anything about that. Hey, Ross, good evening, buddy. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. The last time I saw Ross in person was at the Lumberjack restaurant. Ross, I was just saying, I've been talking to Emil, and I think we will do our next Wednesday night live. We'll be at the Lumberjack in West Branch sometime in March. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Keep an eye on your hubby. Jeff, good evening. How are you, buddy? Jeff had a very frustrating year of deer hunting in the UP. Dave says the tribe should use the same method that they used when a treaty was signed. Well, can you talk about where you get a bear processed in mid-Michigan? You have enough points for Red Oak next year. Curious where to go if successful. Usually what happens, Brian, is some of the deer processors, especially there in Red Oak, will take care of your bear. Does anybody use the hunting forecast put in by TV news stations? I wouldn't. Next year, find out where your deer are coming from and hunt between their bedding area and your food plot. Well, they're coming from the neighbors' properties, and some of those neighbors have bait, Tim. The big guy bringing the hate. Now, I'm not sure how I'm bringing hate, and hate is actually spelled H-A-T-E, if that's what you're saying, Bill. Johnny says he didn't care if there's going to be 5 feet of snow. He's going to be at the one in West Branch. Good, Johnny. I'll look forward to seeing you, buddy. How am I bringing hate? Heat. Okay. Well, that makes more sense, Bill. Suggestions for bear processors. No, I don't. Like I was saying, most whitetail processors do bears. Yeah, I saw that post, Dave. I'm not sure I believe it. I got to be honest with you. That to me looks like one of those stories that maybe isn't true. So I'm going to hold off on that one. Why doesn't the Michigan use point system on elk like they do on bear? That's a good question because they want to make it harder than it has to be. Ed, good evening. How are you? Jeff, I have a question for you. If there is a law on the books that obviously cannot be enforced, let me rephrase that. Should we have laws on the books if they can't be enforced? And right now I'm talking about baiting. And obviously you don't enforce baiting laws, but I think that it's crazy to have laws that we can't enforce. Mike Hampton. Mike, I'm going to be coming and seeing you. We talked about this. I made a post last night about it being time for a change, time for something new, and it is. Casey checking in. Good evening, Kevin. How are you? Very Merry Christmas to you. Hey, Merry Christmas to all of you, my friends. You notice I don't say Happy Winter Solstice, although this is the first day of winter. The good news is the days are going to start getting longer from now on. Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. First day of winter. Merry Christmas to you. I know we need to have Santa Claus, and I know we need to have Christmas trees, and I know we need to have Rudolph for the kids. I get that. I would just ask that we could keep in mind what the real reason for this Christmas season is. It's not so some fat guy can come down the chimney and give us presents. It's because somebody died years and years ago, Jesus, to save us. That's what I think Christmas is all about. It can be enforced just like speeding. It's just impossible to catch them all. Yeah, you're right. It can be enforced here and there. I'm thinking about it, Jim. I'm thinking about it. I guess to get some. At 7:20, we're going to give away a Michigan brand ham because Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand is with us. Ham for the holidays. It is one day closer to spring. Get some air in here. I think my record setting 38 seconds is never going to be beaten. Before we give away a ham, 14 inches of snow in Shingleton? Johnny, if they've got 14 inches of snow in Shingleton, why are you not plowing in Seney? What are you doing, Bowler? You just loafing? 8 deer munching on the lawn of Macomb County Sheriff's Office. Gotta love those city deer, huh? Hump day. My thoughts on all the snow coming. Is there that much snow coming? I guess, Dan, that's my question. Will we get as much as they say? Probably not. Do we ever? Rarely. Yeah, Pure Michigan hunts for Christmas. That's a great gift idea. Thanks for the reminder on that, too. You have until December 31st, which is New Year's Eve. Also, December 31st is the last day to go to Oscar and Joey's, Dixie Dave's restaurant. Hello, Ted. Good evening. How are you? Here's who's coming up on the Outdoor Magazine radio show this week. Vance Gowell, who is a hardcore hunter. He manages a 1,500-acre farm up near Johannesburg, and they have elk on that farm. And he's guided some people to some very, very big elk in the last couple of weeks. We'll talk about that. Good point, Linda. It's not the snow. It's the 30 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. All it takes is 2 inches of snow and a 50-mile-an-hour wind, right? Johnny, don't be talking to me about 20 miles east of you because I know for a fact you can't tell the difference between 30 yards and 70 yards. So if you tell me it's 20 miles, it could be 5 miles, Johnny. Think about that. I think you'll agree with me. Dixie Dave's still going to be on the show. Yes, he is. Did you win the ham? I don't know. We haven't given it away yet. And we're not starting for another 7 minutes. Recommendations for the best gun for a Michigan black bear? I don't know. I think it's hard to beat a 12-gauge slug gun. That's what I think. Big, slow-moving slug. Boom. The weather's like hunting and fishing. Really never know what's going to happen. That's very true. Vance Gowell will be on to talk on the radio show. Then Carl Yiter of the Yiter Insurance Group. He answers the $64,000 question. You hear this all the time. All the time. Well, if you drive your vehicle on the ice, your insurance will be void. No, it's not. If you have an insurance policy, an insurance agent, and an insurance company that allows your insurance to be void if you drive on the ice, you need a different insurance company. It's on the roadside. Then Ben Nielsen of Showspan. Hey, it's coming up, right? The Showspan season. Then in hour number 2, we're talking about ice fishing. That's coming up too, with Jake Romanek of Fishing 411. Then Jeff Jolly, a fisheries biologist from the DNR, reminds us that the Saginaw River is not going to close to walleye fishing this year. It will remain open year-round, like the Detroit River. That's pretty cool. This week's Ask Avery question. I'll come back to that in a minute. Then Tom Lounsbury in hour number 3 talks about hunting this time of year. This week's Ask Avery question from Ryan Lapham. He says, I like to spear pike. When I was a kid, I was taught to crush up eggshells to sink to the bottom. This gives a contrast to see better. I've used rice as well. He said, but I've heard the DNR does not allow items to be put in the water to help you see, even organic ones. Angie, how are you? I was just talking about that. Jason, not at the Ford Dearborn truck plant this morning. He's in Memphis. The answer to that is, well, technically, yes. technically it's illegal. But you're not going to get a ticket for it unless a CO walks up and you start giving him grief right off the bat. You're not going to get a ticket for it. Another question. I live in Southeast Michigan. This one's from Cliff Moran. I think Cliff is on with us right now. Cliff, we used your question this week. I live in Southeast Michigan. I fish Lake St. Clair, Detroit River, could fish Lake Erie. All those bodies of water share a border with Canada. If I have a Michigan fishing license and a Canadian fishing license, I can fish or could fish both sides of the body of water in the same day. My question is, what is the limit of fish I can possess on a given day? The answer is you can possess either an Ontario limit or a Michigan limit. And if you're on the Michigan side, you better possess a Michigan limit. You cannot possess both. What else have we got here? CVA Scout, 7mm all 8, did a wonderful job on a nice bear in the Baldwin unit. I really wanted to use my 350 Legend, but Johnny didn't put a bear in front of me. Cheryl says, I'm going to keep rubbing that in, Johnny. Did I see video of an elk grazing on a guy's hunting property in Gladwin County on Hockaday Road 4 miles south of Sugar Springs? I did not. When was that posted? I would love to see that. And occasionally we do get elk that wander. A few years ago, there was one down by Lansing, and the DNR actually took it out. Actually had it killed. I'm not sure whether, 4 more minutes. We're giving away a Michigan brand ham. 4 minutes, we'll give away a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to do tonight, and we'll do next Wednesday for Wednesday Night Live. And then we'll take a break until Lent for Easter. As always, thanks to Nick Grillo, the Grillo family of Michigan Brand Meats, the website michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. I would love to see video. Next time he'll be in a trap. You'll let him out just in time for me to get out there and shoot him, Johnny. Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy? How are you tonight? Steve, one of my fellow Trinity brothers. And there is no service tonight, Steve. And I know you're on duty this month, so you don't have to worry about it, do you? Tim says he heard that elk story, but didn't see proof of the video location. That's like me with the story about the wolf that supposedly traveled all over North America. I don't believe it. I've seen the story. I saw a picture of a guy sitting over a wolf, and they say his tag proves he was tagged in Michigan, then somehow wandered over to North Dakota and all this other stuff, and he got killed in Ontario. I don't believe it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying I don't believe it. I don't believe that report. I don't believe that story. Paul says, way to go, Michigan Brand. I agree with that. MichiganBrand.net. Thursday night. What's Thursday night? Thursday night is what? Help me out, Scott. Thursday night is what? Johnny says, not let me go until he's in the crosshairs. Well, I go along with that too, Johnny. Thursday night. Please do, Cheryl. By the way, speaking of forwarding me things, Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com is the best way to get in touch with me. Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Storm, Thursday night storm. Gotcha. There are also penned up elk near Sugar Springs. I didn't know that. Maybe one got loose. Okay, Chris, I live in West Branch. What was the date of your coming up again? I'd love to see it. We were going to do, Wednesday, March 8th for our Wednesday night live. I'm going to recommend we move it back to the 15th or maybe even the 22nd for 2 reasons. The later we get into the month, the less chances we have of a snowstorm. And also, we're having our big Trinity Monitor Wild Game dinner on Saturday, March 4th. And I think a lot of people who come to that dinner would also come to the Wednesday Night Live. And I don't want to have 2 big events back to back. So I'm laughing at this one from Aditya. Georgie says hi, and she can't wait to see you. We'll tell Georgie it'll just be a couple of days. And I don't want to have 2 events back to back like that. 7:19, we're getting ready to kick off that. Ooh, it's getting close. So here's the ground rules. Do not answer yet. Brian, unfortunately, I don't think there will be. I think the bait ban is here to stay, even though I don't think it's called for, and I don't think it's legitimate, but the powers that be, who are smarter than me and our wildlife biologists, show no signs of wanting it back. Here's how we're going to do the Michigan brand ham for the holidays. And if you have ever won a Michigan brand ham on this show, ever, anytime, please do not enter. Please do not enter. Also, and this is a very honorable thing, If you plan to give this ham to a needy family or a charity, wonderful. God bless you. But please don't put that in your comments because it makes it very, very hard to overlook a comment like that. So starting right now, you got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to make your comment about why you want to win a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand is standing by. Make your comments clever, make them funny. And Nick is standing by. We're only going to do 2 more. We're going to do tonight and we're going to do next week. And then we will take Nick says, thank you for the rules. And then we'll take some time off until Lent. Nick says, thank you for the rules. Yeah, if you've ever won before, please don't enter. We want as many people as possible to have a chance to. Is it considered baiting? Yeah. Is it considered baiting me? We're going to have a Michigan brand ham. Listen, at the Avery House, we have a Michigan brand ham for just about every holiday. We had them for Thanksgiving. We're going to have one for Christmas. Go to the website, michiganbrand.net, michiganbrand.net. There's a store locator there. You can find Michigan brand in your neck of the woods. A minute 30. Make your comments now about why you want to win a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. In fact, I picked up my spiral cut Michigan brand today for our Christmas dinner. 1 minute. 1 minute on why you want to win a Michigan brand ham for the holidays. I'm feeling good about the buzzer tonight, too. No more Crystal Light because my mouth's going to be watering. Uncle Johnny's in on this. Scott's in on this. Penny's in on this. Captain Jim's in on this. Joe's in on this. Angie's in on this. Jacob, 30 seconds. 30 seconds on the Michigan brand ham for the holidays. Brian's in on it. Paul's in on it. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Make your comments now. Larry. Kentucky legend. Oh, Larry, Michigan brand's got him beat. I can guarantee that right now. Chris. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Ready, John? 1. I don't know, Ed, did you? How long? How long, John? We don't know if you won, Ricky. I hope you did. Maybe you did. I felt pretty good about this one tonight. What do you think? How was it? John Callison, the official timer. Still waiting to hear from him. It had to be up around 30. It had to be. Pushing 30. 28.62. 28.62. That's pushing 30. Best of 22. I think it might have been the best of 22. And I've still got one more week to set a new record. All right, here. Best of 22. What did you just miss, Harry? You missed the Michigan brand ham for the holidays giveaway. It was an awesome buzzer. Joe Bean. Joe Bean, congrats. Joe Bean, congrats on the ham. It was an awesome buzzer. You're going to win that just like you win the Pure Michigan Hunt. Well, there are still 2 chances out there to win the Pure Michigan Hunt because I'm going to win one of them. Joe Bean. Joe, you've been with us. You know the routine. Either you send me a private message with your mailing address or send it directly to Nick, who is on here right now. Nick will get that out as soon as possible. You're not going to have it by Christmas. Okay. That's a given. You're not going to have it by Christmas. Hey, Kimmy, how are you? Johnny, we don't talk about such things, Johnny. I'm hiding your comment right there. Boom. Don't talk about such things yet, Johnny. Joe Bean. All right. Congrats, Joe. Hey, Ruben, how are things in Colorado? Send me your shipping address or send Nick your Joe Knows Ham. Nick says it'll ship out Monday of next week. Excellent. Now, just pretend you didn't, Harry. Just pretend you never saw it. I got this kind of cool thing going on, and Uncle Johnny just shot me in the rear end here. Jerry says the only way he's seeing deer is to go to YouTube. That's about what I am, too. It's not hidden. I deleted it. If you still see it, I actually deleted it. Oh, man. I think you're just kidding me now, Johnny. Ruben says in Colorado, getting snow in the high country. We're going to get it all over here now, I think. It's supposed to get nailed the next 4 days. I don't know. Do you think we will? Do you really think we'll get as much snow as they say? Do we ever? Harry says plenty of deer near the Trufen area. Johnny, you're lying to me, Johnny Bowler. I don't even know you anymore, Johnny Bowler. It's not there. You're lying to me. Philip checking in from the UP. How are things in the UP? Look at the forecast for St. Joe. I'm curious, James. What does it say for St. Joe? Because I can see St. Joe getting a foot of snow. Tell me what it says. Emergency warning issued in Alpena. Well, I know, but it's been deleted since then, Johnny. It's been deleted since then. Jeff says it's his last winter, so he's betting we're going to get hammered. It's your last winter, is it? So you're down to that. Cool. Short timer. Calm at the moment. I was telling my wife, Denise, we were out doing some running around here just before Wednesday Night Live. And I said, doesn't it feel literally like the calm before the storm? It does. It feels like the calm. I see what you sent me. Johnny, but it's gone now. Kimmy, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking 1978 storm. It's funny you say that. That's the same thing I was thinking, but I just don't believe. I don't believe it. I choose not to believe. It's 38 in Fenton. It's like 19 here in Midland. It's not still there, Johnny. I'm telling you, it's not still there. Don't burst my bubble, Johnny. Johnny Bowler. Ed says they're calling for 1 to 2 feet of snow. Oh, man. Ben says, you ever make it down near White Pigeon, Sturgis? No, I actually haven't. Yeah, see, you can't go back to it now because it's been deleted. South Haven says 1 foot to 2 feet of snow. You know, I do believe that. I do believe that right there on the West Coast, coming across the still open and fairly warm Lake Michigan. Okay, Pratt Lake in Gladwin County finally locked up today, making ice. We are making ice now, aren't we? That's for sure. Who said 30 inches near the Western UP? Man. Ross, 2 Johnnies working against me. My brother-in-law, Johnny, Uncle Johnny, and Johnny Bowler are both working against me right now. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see any of their comments. I'm kind of with you, Mike. I'll believe it when I see it. Now, listen, I'm not tempting fate here. Oh, Shelby says she can see it too. Doggone it. Thank you, Uncle Johnny. I know you didn't know you were doing anything, and you really didn't. I was just kind of having some fun. What lake is that, Scott? My lake skimmed over last night. Oh, Ross told you about it. Yeah, you can talk about it behind the scenes. I posted that thing the other day. It's just kind of time for a change. I'm not going to spill it yet. I'm going to stay to my timetable. I'm not going to let other people mandate my timetable. It's time for a change, okay? For Avery, the big guy. It's time for a change. It's time for something new. It's time to do something different. And So I posted something about that last night, and then I'm just not quite ready to announce what it is yet. Pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see how things go tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll maybe tomorrow. Ross, I'm deleting your ticket. Why are you guys busting my chops like this tonight? I'm trying to do something serious, and you guys are making these comments. Why? Can't you just... Well, retiring has been talked about, Jim. Retiring has been talked about. I will tell you that. It has been. Yeah, and the guys getting the band hammer are my friends. People I thought were my friends. I'm hanging up the radio show and I'm going to the charter fishing. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. Don't do it. I don't know. It's time for something new. It's time for Avery to take a change in direction. Something new. Something new. Yeah, a change. It's time for a change. Whitetail guy. That is one that we know won't be the case. Oh, switching to a Raven. I'd switch to a Raven. I'd switch to a Raven. Well, are they still out there right now? I think they got to be getting ice right now. Yes, I'm growing new hair. I'm getting new hair. It's time for a change in direction. I'm going to shave my beard and I'm going to grow my hair back. Say, if anything, it wouldn't be a, hey, Patey, how you doing, kiddo? Are they both with you, Uncle Johnny, right now? I could be an Angler Quest salesman. I'd like that. That'd be fun. Oh, I will enjoy life, Mike. You can count on that. Bear Guide. It would be Bear Guide over that. Don't get too worried, John. I mean, whatever's going to happen, it's not going to... I'm not... Cousin Nick Grillo was at Ham Time. Nick already gave it away. We gave it away to Joe Bean this week. Promo code for the R500. I wouldn't mind shooting a Raven. I wouldn't mind shooting a 10-point. I am curious. Linda would buy an Angler Quest from me. I would like to see, I'm waiting to see, and I don't think I'm speaking out of school here. Darton's coming out with a new crossbow. And I want to see the new Darton before I pull the trigger, pun intended, on any other crossbow. Dave says his whole family thought about a change. We're talking about moving to Tennessee to getting too old for this. I hear you, Dave. I hear you. I'm not a big fan of snow and cold anymore. Yes, I'm running for president. I'm running for president of the local walleye club. No, I'm not. Oh, so what else? What else I want to talk about here? A couple of more things on my list here. And again, congrats. Isn't the Raven, the Yeti of crossbows, way overpriced? I don't know. Ross, I don't have a feel for that. I don't have a feel for that. Possibly. Here's what I want. I want a crossbow that, number one, has a very, very sturdy scope mount. And I'll be honest, as much as I love Dartons, and I do love Dartons, and I love the fact that they're made here in Michigan and have been forever, sometimes I get some movement on the scope of my Darton because the scope mount isn't as sturdy as I want. The other thing I want is I want a cocking mechanism that I can decock it as well. That's what I want. I want to be able to cock it and decock it without shooting it. Give me those three things: cock, decock, and put a very solid scope mount on it, and I'll be happy. That's what I'm looking for. I know James has a 10-point, and you can do it. I love James's 10-point. But you're right, my friends. What I don't want to do is go out and spend $2,500 on a crossbow. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Thank you, Harry. Jim says, try Excalibur. No need for a pro shop. The 400 TD has an internal Kraken decock. I didn't know that. The Excalibur. Cap, is the Excalibur, is that the recurve limb? Is that the Canadian recurve limb crossbow, or am I thinking of something else? Anything is worth what someone will pay for it. Exactly. You ought to see the advertising rates on my radio show. It is. Okay. Scope is a definite issue on the dart, and it looks like it could break off. I've never had one break off, but I have had on a hunt in Ohio. I bumped it harder than I wanted to, and it knocked the scope out of whack. And I don't want to deal with that. I do not want to deal with that. 1600 for your 10 point. Did you see there's a new 10 point out? Oh, Dartons shoot awesome. I love my Dartons. I do love Dartons, and I love to support Michigan-based companies. I just want something a little more in my next crossbow. Craig says, I want one that shoots about 350 feet per second quietly using new technology. That's what I want too, Craig. I want everything. I want everything to be exactly the way I want it, and I don't have to pay a lot of money for it. People say the same thing about my radio show. Oh, I didn't know this. Fair State Bulldogs, NCAA Division II football champs again this year. I did not know that, Don. I was watching a game a while ago that I thought was the NCAA Division II championship, and Ferris wasn't in it. Johnny says he traded 2 bear hunts for a raven. Would do again. Johnny, I'll trade you 2 Wraith 270 see-through ground blinds and 3 bags of Mike Avery hunter sticks and a Mike Avery Outdoors hat for a bear hunt. That must be what I was watching. Congrats to the Bulldogs. Go Dogs. I didn't know that. Thanks for bringing that up. On Saturday, doggone it. If I'd have known that, I'd have been watching. I can probably still find it somewhere online or on YouTube or something. Championship on Saturday. What was I doing Saturday? Nothing. I think I could have been watching the game. That really bums me out. Huh. A deal, Johnny? How about if we just do 3 bags of Mike Avery hunter sticks and just call it even? They smoked whoever they were playing. I did not know that. Sign the hat. He'll do it. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, but I'm actually quite disappointed I didn't know that, and very disappointed I didn't watch the game. I can still find it though, right? Oh, so ice fishing season's coming up. We're making ice like crazy. How bad is the storm going to be? I don't know. Oh, excellent, Jeff. Have fun. Congrats to him. He can kill a doe. I can't kill a doe. I've gone all season trying to kill a doe. I haven't had an adult doe in front of me in Michigan the entire season. That's why I say I think they should. If they want us to kill more deer, let us bait. Food plots are great. But by this time of year, the deer know they do not have to come into the food plot during daylight hours, and they won't. So that's why I think I'm done. I'm done. What's the definition of craziness? Same thing over and over again and expect different results. And I hear that, Ben. I hear that from people all the time. Oh, I'm seeing deer everywhere. I'm actually hunting this spring with Ron Ross because my daughter is getting married at the end of next summer. And so I won't be able to go bear hunting at the end of the summer. So I'm going to go bear hunting in the spring. In fact, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand will be up there with us. Anyway, again, thank you to Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats, the Grillo family, for his generosity in providing these ham for the holidays for several weeks now. We'll give away one more next week. Have I heard of the Earn-a-Buck system? I think Michigan should have an Earn-a-Buck system. I think Michigan should be a $1 system. Why are we allowing people to shoot $2? Because when you can shoot $2, you don't take Ron's on here. I didn't see him. Ron St. Louis. I didn't see you on here, buddy. Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. Davina got her ham yesterday. Excellent. If you're looking for a quality adventure in the North Country, that is White River, Ontario, Canada, I think you should take a serious look at Ron St. Louis, White River, Ontario. Earn a buck would be great. $1 system. I can't think of any reason why in the state of Michigan we are allowed to shoot $2. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Does, shoot all the does you want. Although I can't seem to get a doe in front of me. Thank you, Kevin. We're very excited about it. We're looking forward to it. She's marrying a great guy. In fact, he was on here a little bit earlier. Okay. So this weekend is Christmas. My wish for you is that you have a wonderful Christmas with your friends and family, that it's relaxing. I hope the weather doesn't get too squirrely. I hope you can get to where you want to go. But here's the other thing I really want you to keep in mind. I understand, a big push on Facebook. We'll see where that gets. I understand, why we have Santa Claus and why we have Rudolph and why we have elves and Christmas trees and all this stuff. I get this. Because it's a wonderful celebration for the kids. That's what Christmas is all about. But I'm asking you and I, as adults here, to please keep in mind that Christmas is much more than a Christmas tree, and it's much more than Santa Claus. Christmas, for those of us who are of faith, it's a celebration of the birth of a Savior. Now, I don't know about you, but I sometimes have a hard time getting through the hard times. And so I'm glad I have faith to get me through. And so I cherish my faith. I cherish the salvation that the birth of this Savior is all about. So just please keep that in mind. There's more to Christmas than Santa Claus. Keep in mind the real reason that we celebrate this Christmas. And I believe that if you can keep that in mind, if you can keep the right perspective on that, your stress level will go down. You'll enjoy this holiday more, and you'll have something more to look forward to than just the after Christmas letdown from opening your presents. All right, my friends, with that, I'm going to call it a night. Pastor Mike. We have a new pastor, by the way. We installed him last Sunday. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Pastor Seth Kaiser, his wife Kate, and their family. Ron St. Louis, there he is. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to your family as well, Ron. All right, my friends, my name is Mike Avery. This has been Wednesday Night Live. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. Oh, what do we got to do here? We got to do this. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. Do not hesitate to send me an email with comments, criticisms, your ideas. There we go. That's what we needed. Go out with that. All right, my friends, have a great night. Merry Christmas to you. We'll talk to you next Wednesday for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. What's in the fake Yeti and what's going to be there soon? You can guess, because it's Hump Day!